Hello everyone and welcome to my happy place. Today I want to share with you this beautiful card and the fun marble technique for the background. The stamps we've used is the Daisy Lane stamp set with the coordinating punches. So to do this marble technique, I'm using a wood mount case here. And I'm going to take my Whisper White paper that I want for the background. And I'm just going to put a little bit of snail adhesive down in the center so that I can stick the piece of paper where I want it. Okay, so I just want to give myself enough room so that I have spots here to put the ink. We're going to use Flirty Flamingo, Rococo Rose, and Seaside Spray today. So I'm just going to put a couple little dots of ink here, 1 or 2 drops is all you really need. And just put them anywhere on the plastic, just not directly on your paper. Okay, and then I've just got some marbles here, regular everyday marbles. I picked them up at the dollar store yesterday. I'm just going to drop them in to the case. Close the case, and then we're going to watch the magic happen. So you're just going to roll these around back and forth across your paper, and as they do, they pick up the ink, and the more you roll, the more color you're going to get. Go as quickly as you want. And then when you're done, you're just going to stop, open the case. I'm just going to use a tissue to take the marbles out. Set them aside. Take off the piece of paper. You can just take this aside, and that'll just clean out with a baby wipe or a wet cloth. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside for a few minutes. Isn't that pretty? See how it's got all the colors, and because we use the pinks and the blues, we got a little tone of purple in there as well. So I'll set that aside to let it dry. Super fun. Okay, so for the remainder of the card here, we are going to punch out these daisies. So I've got a piece of Whisper White paper here. I'm using Rococo Rose. I'm going to stamp for the large daisy. The trick with the daisy punches is if you have the petals going straight up and down, at least one set of them, your punch will line up perfectly. Okay, and it doesn't matter which petal, just as long as one of them is upside down, or straight up and down, sorry, not upside down. Okay, put that aside. For the smaller daisy, we're using Seaside Spray. So same thing, if you can stamp them with a petal going straight up and down. Just like so. Set that aside over there. And then, as you'll see, punches will just line up perfectly. Like that. Pop that out. And we'll do one more over here. Okay, so this is the, oh, sometimes you get stuck, I just pull it out. This is the mini daisy punch. And then we're going to use the large daisy punch. Same thing. It's going to line up perfectly because we've got that petal straight up and down. Okay, put that aside. So now we've got our two daisies punched out here. And here. And so to get them together, we're just going to use some multi-purpose adhesive glue. A little tiny dot there. With that glue, you really don't need very much at all. It's very, very strong in a very small amount. So for both of them, just like so. Okay. And then I always like to give them a little burst of dimension just by flicking these up like this. Gives it that extra little. Set this aside. Now we're going to get some old olive cardstock, the leaf punch here, and we're just going to punch out two. Now this leaf punch is retiring in the new 2021 annual catalog. So if you don't have this one, it is one I use very often to add just a little burst of greenery to my flowers. So we've got two of those punched out. We've got the flowers done. I've cut out the die cut here from the Wild Rose dies. So just using my Big Shot, I cut this image out here on Whisper White cardstock. Okay, and then using Memento Black ink, I'm going to stamp the salutation. So we're just going to stamp friend first, just like so. And then we're going to come in with It's Your Time to Shine. Right now I find I'm sending a lot of cards out just for random acts of kindness, just to say hello. We're not able to visit and see each other like we usually are, so it's nice to get a nice little card in the mail to brighten your day. So for that, now we are going to take this. It's nice and dry. Remember, Stampin' Up! Ink dries very quickly, so you don't have to wait all that long before it's dry. So taking your snail adhesive, we're going to now attach this image onto here. So off to one side so you have room to fit your beautiful flowers. And then using a dimensional, or what I like to call a bump it, we're going to stick one on the back of the pink flower. And that's going to kind of go up on the top here. And then we're going to put one on the back of the blue flower. And stick that down here near the bottom. Okay, see how the card's all coming together nicely. Now we're going to add the green again in with the multi-purpose glue. I just like to put just a little dab down here. And stick it underneath the flower so it's popping out. And again, a little bit near the bottom just to balance it. Okay, like so. All right, so that can get set aside. We're going to take our card base, which is, again, the Seaside spray. And we're going to just fold it there and then come in with the bone folder. Make that a nice, crisp, clean edge. I've got Flirty Flamingo for our top layer. Again, with this snail. Just going to attach that onto here. Okay. And then we're going to take our marbled piece. Adhere that to the top here. Oh, I love it. I just love how awesome that background looks. It's so fun and so simple. Okay, for our final touch to the front of the card, we are going to use the 2019-2021 in color faceted dots in the Seaside spray here. And I like to use my Picket tool to take off the bling, slide under, and put them on my card. I'll just randomly stick 3 different sizes on the card like that. Okay, so the front of the card is finished. Now I'm going to come in with my insert and just attach that inside. Okay, and often I like to put a little image inside my cards as well. So this time I'm going to use a Seaside spray in the mini daisy, and I'm just going to stamp one in the corner here. That way, I'm going to re-ink it, and then I'm just going to turn the petals so they're off-centered, just like that. It's not perfect, but it's still pretty. So there's the card, just like that, marble technique. How fun is that? I did do another card earlier this morning, like this, featuring the Crafting Forever stamp set darker images, more of a primary color scheme, but this one also turned out very cool. So there you go. The next time you're in the dollar store, pick up some marbles and just make sure you have a clear case. Anything will work with a lid. Throw some ink and marbles in there and shake it about, and there you go. Thank you so much for popping in. Until next time, I hope you all stay well and happy crafting.